Welcome viewers to yet another podcast from our IEC GM 2025 at the Bharat Mandapam. We are honored to have with us today Shri Ankit Bose, who is the head AI NASSCOM. Welcome to this podcast, sir.
Thank you.
When we are talking about standardization in the field of artificial intelligence, what is the current status of these standards with respect to the global perspectives?
In the world of AI, the technology is running so fast, right? What's happening is, people are, or even, governments are enforcing policies and perhaps some regulation, right? Like EU has AI. So the standardization loop is getting missed. So there are standards getting, built, but again, it should be at the pace of,
The advancement of technology.
right? So what's happening is because that short circuit is happening, I think there's a to and fro, right? So the loop of standardization is getting missed. I think that's a big challenge here. I think I'll not say it's a challenge. It's a pace of innovation which is leading to this, right? So we'll have to bring a balance between all four loop to set the right pace.
That's a very pertinent point that you've raised. So here's the role of standardization, which is very, very important. So we talk about various stakeholders, and the biggest is the consumers who are using AI in their everyday lives.
Yeah.
With Chat GPT and various other generative platforms that are available. So how can a consumer be using the AI in a more, in a manner in which he or she can be capable of using it in a proper way, in which there is no deception there for the consumer? So are there any guidelines, or are there any pointers which can be of help to the consumers in this regard?
I think, again, good question, right? Again, I think the digital world, AI and Gen AI are getting used in two aspects. One is basically for their own productivity as a consumer, right? People are using it for email, for probably generating some content, all of that. But again, as a digital worker, people are using it in their job roles also, right? So when they're operating at both level, they have to be cognizant of few things, right? Definitely, I'll start from later. When they're doing in the job role, they have to follow the mandatory guidelines which their company enterprise has, sort of outlaid. Because when enterprise lays in policy guidance for an employee using AI, they think through all possible, loopholes and risk which are there, right? And the other thing in that is they have to also use the mandatory tools what the enterprise gives, right? So that's for the digital worker in the enterprise. For individual per se, I think, again, when we are using AI, right, AI is getting used right from probably a student till a researcher, everyone, right? From a agriculturist to a bureaucrat sitting. So I think AI is totally revolutionizing how an individual operate in the digital world, right? If I relate it back to the time when the internet was getting revolutionized, Netscape, that's the right moment we are at, right? So a lot of rules, lay of the land is still not set. It's getting set, right? So what that means for an individual when he is using AI, he has to be aware about, what are the tools he's using, right? What are the possible risks which are there, right? One risk or few risks which they should be aware is their data getting theft, right? The PI, personal data getting theft.
Right.
When they use tools which are not having those ethical policies implemented, that's a possibility. The second biggest issue is in the world of AI, we cannot believe the content which generated is correct, right?
Authenticity of the content that is
Yes.
generated.
Because the models hallucinate, right?
Right.
Hallucination is not by design, right? But it is sort of an element of the model, because essentially what we have done is we've taken multi-trillion tokens in the web, in the digital world, and put it into a single model, and we are asking it, can you respond? And when we prompt it, right, the prompt answer is basically the tokens getting generated, which is probability of how tokens are in the whole
system.
Yeah. So not necessarily understanding your question, it is just generating tokens, right? So you have to be aware about there's a possibility of hallucination, bias, right? These are two big harms which are possible. Now when we are using, I think the third nugget I will tell the viewers is that they should be using AI generated content with again seeing the references, right? The main documents.
Exactly.
That's very important, right?
Exactly.
And whenever they are referring AI content, and they are probably, it could be image, video, or a content, it's a good practice to say that this is an AI generated content, so that the viewers also know it, right?
Exactly.
So I think these are the 4 things. But again, overall, as humanity, when we are using these AI tools, we should not lose our creativity, right? So that's very important, because now we'll not realize, but again, over the years, 5 years, 10 years, to few decades, we'll feel that we'll lose our creativity. So keep an check on your creativity, right? Use AI tool for the sake of using it, but again, also be creative and individualistic when you're using it, right? So that's what I would.
Thank you, sir. It was quite insightful. And I think all the consumers, the young generation that are using the AI, keep these points in their mind while using the AI in their daily lives. Thank you so very much, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you.